Okay, so in today's video, basically I wanted to go over making a toe on a CSM, which honestly is the same thing as making a heel, and also doing the Kitchener stitch. Okay, so in a previous video, I have shown you how to make a heel. I go through it, step by step. So I'm just going to really quickly go over that right now, okay? Because what I've done is that on my CSM, I put my waist yarn on, I put my sock bonnet on, I put the waist yarn, I put a few rows of the actual sock yarn, okay, because I'm just doing a sample of only the toe, okay. I'm using my 54 cylinder because I got small feet. The 72 is too large for me, okay. And so basically, and I am watching Cisco going through my loom. Cisco! Oh, okay. The joys of having cats. Anyways, so basically what I would end up doing is I would stop my carrier as I'm going around at the 6 o'clock mark. I engage my heel spring, okay? I'm going to lift all the needles in the back half of my cylinder. So in my case with the 54 cylinder, that's going to be 27 needles that I'm lifting, except for the one behind 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. So I'll adjust the math. I'm a little tired today, okay? And then I'm going to complete that row and bring my carrier to the back, okay? So then I want to start the, Cisco, you okay? All right. So I want to start the decreasing of the toe, okay? So I'm going to lift the needle on the right-hand side that was right behind the 3 o'clock mark. I'm going to put a stitch marker on it because when I go back towards that area at the end of the toe, basically, I need to know where to stop. So I just do that for memory's sake for myself. Then I'm going to bring the carrier around to the left-hand side, repeat the same thing. So lift the stitch marker right behind the 9 o'clock position, put my stitch marker on, and then I'm going to continue to lift the needles on each side, right to left, okay, all the way down to my heel markers, okay. Now, again, I'm adding my heel forks or my sweet spot to keep the tension in the pocket that I'm making, which is my toe, so I don't drop any stitches. But again, if you want a rounded toe, okay, instead of going right to the heel markers that you have, so my CSM basically is divided into 3 p.m. Then I've got 9 needles. I've got the heel markers. There's 9 needles between the heel markers, and then I've got 9 needles going to the 9 o'clock position. Okay, so that's for the normal heel. Okay, so and that would give you kind of the angular and then kind of a cross, right? So more of an angular looking toe. If you want the rounded toe, what you would do is that the last 2 stitches before the heel marker, you would lift them together, okay? Do that on the right, do that on the left, okay? Then basically, we're going to start with the increasing of the toe, okay? So again, because I raised 2 of the needles on the last line on the right and the left. Now I want to lower those 2 if I'm doing the rounded toe. If not, you're starting from the heel marks, and you're basically going back 1 on each side, all the way back to where the stitch marker is, but you're going to stop, okay? Basically, when you get to the second last needle on the left-hand side, so that's the one right before the stitch marker that I put in, okay? I'm going to lower that one. I'm going to bring my carrier to 6 o'clock, okay? And then I'm going to remove my stitch markers and lower the needles in the back half, okay? So whether I'm doing a heel or a toe, that part is the same, okay? The difference comes is in the last couple of steps if you're making a toe, all right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to change the camera around so that we can see those last couple of steps, okay? I'm going to make a couple of samples of the toes, all right? And I'm going to show you basically after that how to do the Kitchener stitch, okay? If you saw my heel video, you saw that my first attempt at the Kitchener stitch was, I wouldn't even say okay. I was not impressed with it, although a lot of people who are using the CSM said it was a really good attempt for the first time I did a Kitchener stitch. So, but to me, nah, I'm not happy with it. So we're going to basically do that because, and I'll show you these steps for that, and hoping that we can do it in one go. All right, wish me luck. Okay, so basically I've gotten up to the point where the heel and the toe basically are exactly the same. But as soon as I want to start with doing the toe, I decided, I'm not sure the Kitchener stitch, because obviously you want to make sure that when you are doing the Kitchener stitch that each stitch corresponds to the next. So I took the stitch markers off of the needle. I put it through a couple of bars at the 9 o'clock position, a couple of bars through the 3 o'clock position. I'm not sure if that's going to come in handy or not, but we will take a look. So we want to basically put down, okay, we're going to lower all the needles. Okay, I'm going to check to make sure that all the needles are down so I don't have any drop stitches. I might put, as I said, like I did before with the heel, I may just put them just slightly higher, the needles, just to make sure that they're laying flat. There we go. Not sure if I'm the only one that has a hard time seeing whether these needles are actually down or not, but anyways. Okay, so I think we're good. And then I want to go around basically one more time, and then I'm going to switch over to, it says basically knit one additional row for the toe. You're going to stop at 3 p.m. One needle past 3 p.m. in order to overlap the waist yarn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look. We've got the weights are still on, of course. There we go. I'm going to go one additional time. There we go. I'm going to stop one needle beyond. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. No, before I cut, because I want a Kitchener stitch with this yarn here, I need to, I'm going to take off my heel spring at this point. I'm going to take off, hold on a sec here, I've got to figure out how to take this off here of my mast. Okay, and they suggest basically to, I think it's go around 3 times if I recall. So I'm going to go around, because you want to make sure that you have enough for the Kitchener stitch. I'm just going to go loosely. If I have too much, I have no problems with that. Okay, so I got 1, 2, oops. Hopefully you're doing it a much smoother way than me. Okay, cool. I'm going to cut that. Okay, let's unwrap this. Okay, I'm gonna put that down here, and we'll take that out afterwards. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna pull it out. I want to make sure it's going one needle. All right, so on here. Okay, so it's gonna go one needle past. One needle past 3 o'clock. I'm going to use my, okay, and wow, it's dark, eh? It just got really, really dark outside. So let me see if I can add some light here. Give me a sec. Looks like a storm's coming in. Okay, so now I'm going to take my waist yarn. Okay, I'm going to put it through my slotted mast. All right, oops. There we go. There we go. Down here. It's going to go through here. Whoop. There we go. Okay, and I want it to overlap. So I'm going to put this, the waist yarn basically down at the 3 o'clock position. The other one is just past it. Okay. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hold these down. I usually put a clip of some sort, but I'm going to hold these down. And then we're going to take a look. Everything just looks good. Okay, there we go. All right. Everything looks like it hooked up. Okay, so I'm going to do basically a few rows. I said 4 to 5 inches in my instructions, basically, but I think I don't know, I'm going to do 4 to 5 inches. I'm just going to see Okay, I think that should be more than sufficient. And basically it says, knit 4 to 5 inches of waist yarn, cut the yarn, unless of course I'm doing a second sock. This is just a sample, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to remove the weights and crank off the sock. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm just going to, instead of taking off all the weights and stuff, I'm going to cut my yarn, have that go in. Give me a sec here. There we go. Okay, put that in. And then basically I'm going to hold all my weights and I'm just going to kind of crank off, okay? Because again, it's a sample. I don't need to finish off. Now, again, it's a lot of weight on my hand. Give me a second here to take off all these weights. All right. Okay. Okay, so it's on, still on my, obviously on my, the sock yarn here. So let's pull that over a little bit. Okay. So we've got it on the sock yarn. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is that basically what I need to do is I've got to, where's this one came out of here? So it came out of here. Okay. So I'm going to set myself up to do the Kitchener stitch because what we want to do is we want to basically put the Kitchener stitch in such a way that it's going to literally sew up like that, and that will be on top. That will be my toe right here with the seam on top. Okay. So let me rearrange the camera and then we will end up doing that. All right.